Big Slipper here
And Tracy 2904.
We're here today for the debate.
Yep, we had a couple of suggestions from John J. Style, we kind of agreed on those.
Yep.
We tried to debate them and we had sort of the same points.
So we picked the topic from Angie B.
So the topic is religion versus science. The thing is, first of all, I just want to make it clear that I'm not an atheist. I'm the science, for the science. He's for the religion. So yeah, I just wanted to make that kind of clear. I'm not a non-believer. I do believe in God. We just have different points about how he works, and basically that's it. So we're just gonna kind of debate on that, and yes, I hope you enjoy the debate.
Yep.
But anyway, to the point.
To the point. The point is, you start the argument with
me.
A point. Yep.
My argument.
Your argument.
Okay. Well, my argument is what we
laughed about. Okay. Her argument is
what we've been arguing about or debating about for the last 2 days.
Well, what we've been arguing about the last 2 days, I say, if there's fortune tellers and they can see the future, and there is a future, that means there's a path for us to follow, because it's already been written, because there can't be a future unless it's already been written.
And I don't think that.
And she just thinks everything's a coincidence, and
it is. Everything that happens is just
I said to her that if everything's a coincidence and the earth is just all by coincidence, and that means all that exists is now. There'll be no past, no future, just what exists right now, because that's all gone and there's nothing ahead of us.
Well, I don't believe, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that
the Big Bang, the earth, all the planets were created, the earth was created.
Yep.
And then we lived up to right this second. That's all there'll be. There ain't no path into the future. There's nothing
who
ahead
says that?
of us.
Why does that? I still see, this is what drives me crazy.
If an apple grows on a tree, when you pick it when it's ripe, it's still going to be an apple. You know what I mean? It's not going to.
Yeah, but what
does
that?
You can't see in the future it's going to what?
What does that have to do with anything, really?
Right?
What does that have to do with anything? So you're saying that God lays out our entire future, and that's why people see the future, because it's God's work.
It's God's work.
There's no proof that it's God's work laying out our futures.
Well, where's the future come from?
I don't know where it comes from. I guess it just happens.
How does it get there? Someone had to lay it out before.
It doesn't mean that anyone's laid it out. Like you said,
I say God laid a path.
It goes on what you do in your life, right?
Yeah, our future is what we make it.
Yes, the future can be written to a point, because if you are, like, say you're an alcoholic, let's just say as an example, you're leading towards a path of, like, what do you get from alcohol? Like, all the stuff, like, no, but you get, like, liver disease and kidney disease and stuff like that. So obviously you're heading for a bad road. So even though you're still here, you still sort of know what's ahead. So there is a future, but that doesn't mean that it's God laying it out. It doesn't mean that it's God putting the steps down on the brick road for you to walk on. It just means that you made a bad decision and now you're heading towards...
It's like if someone lays a path, you can see the path in front of you, you can see the path behind you, and you're halfway down this path. You can follow the path any way you want, but the path is still laid out for you.
But that doesn't mean that somebody laid it out. That could mean that you're laying it out yourself.
But if I start the path and I'm building the path, like the earth was created and it's still being created and it's still people evolved, and it's like me, I start a path, I lay the path out, I'm only up to where I built the path to. There's no path in front of me unless I keep building.
Yeah, because that's you doing it. That's not God or some higher power laying the path out for you. You're laying it out yourself.
Yeah, so there's nothing in front of me. It means there should be no future.
How could there be nothing in front of you?
How can people see into the future if the path ain't finished yet?
Because it depends on where you're going. It doesn't mean that God's laying it out as you go along.
No,
it means you're taking the path and you're writing it yourself. This is why I don't get this argument, because I don't see what...
finished being built.
But I just don't understand what God has to do with this argument. That's what frustrates me. Because
there has to be a higher power out there before that path to be laid in front of you. Because
the higher power is yourself.
If the path wasn't laid in front of you, you wouldn't be able to see into it. There'd be nothing ahead of you. The path wouldn't be built yet. You'd be at a dead still. Every second of your life would be all it is. There'd be no path in front of you. You'd be building it as you go along.
Yeah.
So you can't see.
You are.
You can't see in further down the path because the path don't exist.
You can see to a point into the path.
No, if you're only just building it.
But if you're building it and you're taking a path, like I said, down a bad path, you're still gonna be heading on a bad path.
You're building
it as you go, but you're still gonna be knowing what's ahead to a point. You're gonna know what's ahead.
You still gotta build that bad path.
Yeah, but you're still, of course, people are gonna know what's ahead to a point.
If the Big Bang happened and the world's still being created and it's just evolving, it's only at the stage where we are now. There's nothing ahead of it. We make what's ahead of it. And
yeah.
by chance makes what's ahead of it. And that means a fortune teller cannot see anything besides now. They can't say, oh, in the future this is going to happen, that's going to happen, and then it happens because there's no path there to see.
Well, they say, like, you have...
So there's got to be something else out there. There has to be.
No. I'm not saying there's nothing else out there. I'm not saying God's not out there, because I believe in God to a point. I just don't think... I think that people over-exaggerate His power. And it's like, yes, He can do this, He can do that. He controls everyone's destinies and everyone's futures or whatever.
I don't believe to the point where He controls your destiny. I reckon you follow your own destiny, your own path. You have the choice to make your own choice. I mean, you say, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. You still got free will. He don't choose your free will. You still take any road you want. But the path is laid out. We just choose which way we go upon it.
But how could He even create the universe? And that's my other argument, is that someone would have had to create Him. He can't just have always been there.
He's always been.
He kind of is. Everything has a beginning. Everything.
By God.
And people say that God has always been. There's no start point. It's just always been. But how does anyone know that? How do you know that before that? Okay, when we were first starting out, us as humans, and we probably thought that the earth was just the earth, nothing there, until we came along. And then we found out, okay, there's dinosaurs that were here before us. So how do you know that before God, or the empty space in the universe, how do you know there wasn't something else?
Because then we'd have to believe in a higher power than God.
Well, maybe before God there was another higher power that had its own universe, and maybe something happened to that universe, and then God somehow came along.
If God is the highest power, He couldn't have been created, because there'd have to be someone higher than God, which there ain't. So
there could have been. There might not be now.
So He has to have been forever.
He couldn't have been. Everything has a point where it begins. It's too...
I couldn't imagine God sitting down worshipping some higher power that created Him.
Why?
Because He's the top of the chain. He's the highest power. He has always been. He wasn't created. He's just always been.
But you don't know that.
We don't know that, but we just
everything.
Common sense says, okay, God's not worshipping His own God, because He is created by something.
Maybe His God isn't around. Maybe there was a God before Him. Or maybe there was something, there's got to be something else before Him. Everything has a beginning. You can't just always exist. You think about it, okay, how can something just always be there? Like, since forever and ever and ever and ever, just always be there. You might find it easy to understand, but I can't understand it, because I just don't understand how something can always be there without it being put there. You know? Do you understand what I mean?
I understand your point of view, but I see it differently.
It's just hard to comprehend that.
I see it as the emptiness of space has always been the emptiness of space. Even the universes in it are still in that emptiness of space that's always been there. Before the planets were created, it was just a vast emptiness. And the only thing that lived in it was the life force that was God.
But see, another problem with that is before that, what was before that? And that's why I find it so annoyingly frustrating, because something, I just don't understand it. I really
I
don't.
just understand that you're saying that you can't comprehend that something could be there without being put there.
Like when, I'm not talking about like where it came from or anything, I'm talking about in time, like there had to be a specific time when it wasn't there and then it was there. Like it's hard to try and figure out how something can just always be there since whenever. It's so confusing. Do you understand how my mind works?
I don't know how your mind works. I understand your point of view.
Yes, and that's why I don't understand.
That's why it's a debate, because my point of view, I see the God as forever. He's always been. You see God as he had to pop up somewhere. He can't just always be, because everything has to start somewhere.
Yes, I believe that.
But everything does have to start somewhere, except God.
It's just logical. Like logic, you use logic every day. You can't live a day without logic, and that's the most illogical. Is that the right word? Illogical thing. Like it's totally not logical for something to just not be there all of a sudden. And that's what I don't understand, because logic is everything. Logic means everything.
Yep.
Everything has to be logical and make sense. But this one thing, okay, this one little thing, like you think about every other mystery or anything in the world or the universe, there's always some explanation. You might not know about it, but there's always some kind of theory. But with this is like the one thing that there's no theories on. There's there's no theories. How can you have a theory on how something can always be there without a starting point?
Because most people just think, okay, he's always been and always will be, so that's it. They don't think that.
Yeah, a lot of people think about that, but if you think about it hard enough, you got to think, how can something just always be there and there not be a time when it wasn't there, or a time when it just popped up from wherever it came from? I don't know.
Yep, okay, well,
that was kind of...
we should finish up because this is like an hour already, and...
Yep, and it'll probably...
I understand Tracy's point. She sort of don't really understand mine because she can't see the logic of forever.
I think a lot of people just accept it. They don't try and think about into the logics of it. Most people just accept it as a logical
explanation. But in the end, your comments is a final decision, so...
Yeah, let us know what you think on this subject.
We'll leave a couple of links of some interesting stories to help you decide
we'll put them in the description, yeah.
Yep.
Because I don't know how to put them in the links, the actual links.
To help you have a say in the
but yeah, we'll
debate.
Put some, yeah.
Leave all your comments down below.
And you want to tell them about that photo? Oh.
And
we found a photo online that we want your opinion on.
I'll put 2 links.
Yep.
Please leave opinions down there, because I'd like to know
what you guys think of it.
What you guys think of this photo, because I sort of believe it, but there's always doubt that they could be fake, they could be this, they could be that, but I've got to believe in something, I suppose. So please look at these photos, leave a link, and just let us know your opinion down the bottom there.
Yep.
And
remember to leave some topics for debates for next week.
Yep.
And also stay tuned, because we'll be doing the mystery and conspiracy videos on Wednesday.
Yep.
Ish. So.
Jokes on Tuesday.
And jokes on Tuesday, yep.
Yep.
And then dares again on the Friday.
And dares again on
the
Friday.
So remember to leave dares and more debates and conspiracy and mystery topics as well.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's all.
Okay.
Thanks for watching.